She didn't believe in love anymore. She'd been lied to, used, and left broken by men who promised forever, but couldn't even give her a week of honesty. But one message from a man halfway across the world, a Filipino, would change everything she thought she knew about love. In Moscow, winters bite harder when your heart's cold too. Anastasia had long stopped believing in happily ever after. Her last relationship ended in betrayal, and every romantic movie now felt like a cruel joke. She'd scroll past couples' posts online and think, good for them, but that's not real. Meanwhile, in a small town in Cebu, the sound of tricycles, laughter, and ocean waves filled the air. Miguel, a 32-year-old Filipino man, wasn't rich, but he was rich in kindness. The kind of guy who'd stop to feed stray dogs, help his neighbors, and always smile even when life was tough. He believed love wasn't about money or beauty, it was about heart. One night, Anastasia joined an online language exchange app to improve her English. She wasn't looking for love, just someone to talk to. That's where she met Miguel. His profile picture was simple. Him in a white shirt, standing near a coconut tree, smiling like he had no worries in the world. Their first chat was short. "Hi," she said. "Hi," he replied. "You sound Russian?" "Yes, and you sound very kind." That made him laugh. Kind. A word he didn't hear often enough. What started as random chats about language slowly turned into something deeper. They'd talk for hours about dreams, family, food, and the crazy differences between Russia and the Philippines. She told him how people in her city rarely smiled at strangers. He said in his town, everyone greets each other like family. Weeks turned into months. Miguel never flirted. He never sent cheesy lines. Instead, he listened. Really listened. When Anastasia had bad days, he'd stay up just to make sure she fell asleep feeling better. He'd send photos of sunsets from Cebu, writing, "This reminded me of you, calm but bright." She'd send him pictures of snow, saying, "You'd freeze here, but I'd make you coffee." Something unusual began to happen. She started smiling again. She found herself laughing at his jokes, waiting for his messages, caring about his day. For the first time in years, her heart felt safe, but reality hit distance. Nearly 5,500 miles separated them. She was in Russia, he was in the Philippines. Different worlds, different cultures, even different time zones. Her friends warned her, online love, it never lasts. Her mother said, Filipinos, they just want visas. Miguel heard the same doubts too. His friends teased, "She's out of your league, bro. Russian women only date rich men." It hurt not because of what others said, but because deep down, both of them were scared those words might be true. Still, they didn't give up. Every morning, Miguel would wake up early just to say goodnight to her. Every night, she'd fight sleep just to say good morning to him. They shared everything, stories about their childhoods, the pain of their pasts, and their hopes for the future. Miguel told her, love doesn't need luxury, it just needs loyalty. That line stuck with her. Anastasia started learning Filipino phrases. Mahal kita, ingat. Miguel started learning Russian words. Privet, spasibo, ya tebia liubliu. They built their own world through screens and heartbeats. After a year, Anastasia made a bold decision. She bought a ticket to the Philippines. Her friends thought she was crazy, but she didn't care. When she landed in Cebu, the heat, the noise, the colors. It was overwhelming. But when she saw Miguel waiting at the airport, holding a small sign that said, "For my Russian angel," she froze. He looked exactly like his pictures, simple, humble. But his eyes had that same warmth that melted her walls from miles away. He walked up to her slowly, smiled, and said, "You're even more beautiful in real life." She couldn't say anything. She just hugged him, the kind of hug that says, "Thank you for finding me." Miguel took her to see the ocean for the first time in her life. She'd only ever seen frozen lakes. But now, she was standing in front of waves that sparkled under the sun. He introduced her to his family, who welcomed her with open arms and endless food. adobo lechon. She laughed when she tried halo halo for the first time, confused about why there were beans in a dessert. Miguel just said, "That's the Filipino way life. Es sweetest. When you mix it all together." Every small thing felt magical, holding hands while walking through the market, watching sunsets on the beach, laughing about language mix-ups. She felt love, not the movie kind, but the real one. The kind that feels safe, simple, and sure. The love isn't perfect. After 2 weeks, she had to fly back home. The night before her flight, they sat on the sand, quiet. "I don't want this to end," she whispered. "It won't," Miguel said. "Distance doesn't end love. It just tests how strong it is." They promised to fight for each other, to visit again, to keep talking every day, to never let doubt win. Still, the next months were tough. She missed his voice, his jokes, the way he'd look at her like she was the only one. There were nights she'd cry, thinking maybe this love was too hard. But Miguel never gave up. He worked extra shifts, saved money, and 6 months later, he was standing in the snow outside her apartment in Moscow. She couldn't believe it. A man from the tropics, standing there in a thick jacket, holding flowers, teeth chattering, but smiling. When she opened the door, he said, "I told you I'd find a way." That moment changed everything. Her family saw the sincerity in his eyes. Her mother, who once doubted him, hugged him and said, "You're brave." They spent Christmas together. Her first Christmas with someone who truly loved her for who she was. Miguel even helped decorate the tree, joking, "No coconut trees here, huh?" They laughed until they cried. And when midnight came, he looked at her and said, "Before you, I didn't have much, but now I have everything." That was the moment she realized love doesn't care about distance, color, or culture. It just needs two people who choose each other every single day. Anastasia, who once believed love was a lie, now wakes up smiling. She says Filipino men love differently, not with grand gestures, but with quiet strength. They show love in the way they care, the way they stay, the way they make you feel safe. She often tells her friends, "If you ever meet a Filipino man, don't judge him by what he has. Look at how he loves." Their story became an inspiration online, showing that sometimes people we meant to love aren't next door there across oceans, waiting to heal the parts of us we thought were broken forever. Today, they live between two worlds, spending summers in the Philippines, winters in Russia. Miguel jokes that he's now addicted to snow, and she teases that she can't live without rice anymore. Their love isn't perfect, but it's real. It has proof that true love still exists. You just have to be brave enough to believe in it again, because sometimes the heart doesn't find love where it is comfortable. It finds love where it least expects it. And for Anastasia, that was in the arms of a Filipino man who showed her what forever really means.